In 1949, Ireland became a republic, definitively ending its tenuous membership of the British Commonwealth. In 1973, Ireland joined the European Communities. In 1980, a number of Republican prisoners decided to go on hunger strike to attempt to reinstate this special category status and refuse food.
Oh, Danny boy.
Was an Irish nationalist who led a hunger strike in 1981. He was born in 1954 and grew up in Belfast, Northern Ireland, under the cloud of nationalism and loyalist divisions. He joined the Republican movement when he was 18 but was arrested soon after. A second arrest in 1976 led to a 14-year sentence. In prison, Sands embarked on a long hunger strike that led to his death. During the strike, he was elected a Member of Parliament to stand up for the Irish against the British government. He died on May 5th, 1981, and his funeral was the largest ever turnout for the Republicans. Today, Bobby has become an international figure who continues to inspire the Irish Republicans in their pursuit of freedom from British rule. But for some, however, they remember him for his acts of terrorism, like when in 1976 he was connected with bombing a large funeral company.
In my memory, I will always see the town that I have loved so well, where our schools played ball by the gas yard wall.
August 3rd, 2001, in a pub, now a Metro Bank, in Ealing, the real IRA detonated a car bomb containing explosives, injuring 7 people and luckily killing no one.
The Good Friday Agreement was set up with the British Prime Minister, Tony Blair, and the United States President. Helped in the background was President Clinton, and they all sort of banged their heads together and they got what I think was quite a good settlement, because the arms was the peace started straight away. Yeah. The Good Friday Agreement was signed with the Sinn Féin and the Unionist Party and the DU Party and all the rest of the parties. Yeah, the real IRA, they didn't want a settlement, they wanted to keep going, and things they didn't agree to stop the likes of Omagh bombing. That was one of the good reasons. The other reason was way back earlier before that was when Lord Mountbatten got killed in 72, I think it was, at Sligo, at Mullaghmore, and that was an awful big upheaval. We happened to be in the north that day visiting my wife's aunt with the kids, and
Aunt Winnie.
We were told to get back across the border that evening as quickly as we could in case there was going to be more trouble. So that's what we did, yeah.
In 1900, only 30% of Irish people lived in towns and cities. The rest, the 70%, lived in the countryside. Living conditions for the poor were among the worst in Europe, but the better off lived in comfortable conditions. The use of trains and trams saw cities expand, suburbs for the wealthy developed, while the poor lived in the city centre. In 1973, Ireland joined the EEC and farmers became better off. Houses became bigger and more modern. Socialising changed also as people stayed at home to watch TV. The increasing use of cars meant a reduction in isolation and greater mobility. Ireland is now part of the global village, with Irish people in constant touch with every corner of the world.
Yeah, boy.